Salkon here, just making a quick video over the talents and glyphs for Windwalker monks. It's patch 5.0.5, I believe. So let's get started. On the talents first here, Celerity gives you an extra roll and a 5-second cooldown reduction on your roll. This is better suited for BGs and RBGs, most likely, and the same goes for momentum. It just makes you move faster after a roll, and that stacks up to 2 times, 25% per stack. Tiger's Lust, though, it's what I use. All I do is arena and duel, so Tiger's Lust is definitely the option for me. Again, you might do better in BGs with momentum or celerity, but that's up to you. I choose Tiger's Lust because that is the only root break we have. Also kind of works as a sprint, 70% increased movement speed for 6 seconds, and it's only on a 30-second cooldown, which I don't think is that bad. The only problem I have with it is the 1 chi cost. With it being an escape ability that you're going to have to use on the fly, I don't think it should have a cost, because that little 1 chi cost has screwed me before. But enough of that. In the second tier we have Chi Waves, Zen Sphere, and Chi Burst. Chi Burst I just don't use because it costs 2 chi, only heals for 15k, and I have to cast it for it's only like 1 second, but still, in 1 second they're probably going to do more damage than it ends up healing for anyway, so right there makes it useless. Zen Sphere, I heard it was like it was super OP in the beta, but MOP just kind of squashed it. It's no good now. I think it only heals for like 5k per tick, and you get like 8 ticks or something. It's not very good. Chi Wave, however, heals you. It just bounces back and forth between you and your target, and it heals you for about 13 to 15k. I've seen it crit like 32k just on one bounce, and I think that's really good. So that's why I choose it. I keep this on cooldown. It keeps me alive. It's got me through some ridiculous stuff, so I really have no problems with it. I just keep using it. For the third tier, Power Strikes, I think this is better for like probably Brewmaster monks, who I'm assuming are generally chi starved, since they don't have the 2 chi per jab, I'm sorry, that Windwalker monks have. Ascension, I use that because I like to line up Rising Sun Kick with Fist of Fury and just have that quick burst, and then that allows me to get Rising Sun Kick on cooldown while I'm doing Fist of Fury. But that's just me. Again, this is all my opinion. If you want to make up your own shit, that's cool too. Just trying to help some people. Anyways, I know a lot of people have been using Chi Brew, which it is a viable option. It's just you have to put that jab in between the Rising Sun Kick and the Fist of Fury, which really isn't that big of a deal. It really isn't, but I like to do it. But whatever. Chi Brew just seems kind of like a waste to me when you could have something like this. For the fourth tier, Deadly Reach is a good ability. It makes your paralysis a ranged ability, pretty much gives it a 20-yard range. I think that's really good, but it should be baseline. That's just my opinion, but it should be baseline, or at least a glyph or something. It shouldn't be a talent. They're not going to change that, though. It's really good, but it's not worth giving up your only stun. And that's when we come down to leg sweep and charging ox wave. I've seen a lot of people using both, and the main difference here is a cooldown and the stun time. The cooldown for leg sweep is 45 seconds, while charging ox wave is 1 minute. Though the stun here is only 3 seconds long, with leg sweep being 5 second long. Now, it is only a 5-yard range, though. While this one is a 30, it's just a big stun beam. It's pretty much a shockwave for monks. But leg sweep, with it being a 5-yard range, that means you pretty much have to get down a double disable, or at least one disable, and get really close, or paralysis on your target before you use it, which I have to do frequently, because it has screwed me over in the past, and I'm sure it will in the future. But I still choose leg sweep. Even though it is higher maintenance to use, it gives you the longer stun. And for the fifth tier, we have Healing Elixirs, which doesn't really compare to these two abilities. I don't even know why that's there. I think it's just a filler personally, but Dampen Harm and Diffuse Magic pretty much do the same thing. They mitigate either physical or magical damage. As you can imagine, we have more problems with casters than we do with physical damage dealers, which, I mean, for them we have disarm anyways, but diffuse magic reduces all spell damage by 90% and clears all the magical effects on you, reversing them back to their original caster if within 40 yards if possible. Lasts for 6 seconds. Really good ability. Will save you a million times, I promise. It's incredible. Just pick it. You really have a lot of problems with warriors or, God forbid, rogues or something, then I'd say pick up Dampen Harm, but you're going to have a lot of problems with casters if you don't have this. For the final tier, Rushing Jade Wind, really there's nothing to be said about it. More of a PvE move. The White Tiger is a freaking boss. Everyone has been using them. I haven't seen very many people that don't use them. I've seen a couple people with Cheat Torpedo, but it's not that cool. I think this is more of a BG move or something for Mistweavers, or same goes for Rushing Jade Wind. That might be for Mistweavers. I don't know. I don't use it, and I don't play Mistweaver. The White Tiger is awesome. He does great. He's really good for his burst, so I just keep him. Moving on to the Glyphs. First and foremost, I want to say there really isn't a whole lot to look for it or to expect from the Glyphs. They just didn't make a very good Windwalker Glyphs. But with what we do have, my choices are definitely Sparring, Touch of Karma, and Touch of Death. And with the Sparring, all it does is it makes the Sparring buff that you get passively as a Windwalker monk apply to magic as well. So you have a 15% chance, or after it stacks 3 times, you have a 15% chance to deflect any spell that hits you, and that has worked so many times. Probably saved me more than a few times. It's freaking awesome. So definitely pick that one up. Touch of Karma gives it 20-yard range, makes this thing a lifesaver. I mean, it's practically a pally bubble for you, except a little bit better. It makes it a just 6 seconds of awesome, because before you had to get up to him and you were pretty much forced to use it offensively if you didn't have this glyph. So with it making a 20-yard range, it's definitely the choice here, and plus you don't have very much to pick from anyhow. And Touch of Death, without this, Touch of Death is useless in PvP because 3 chi is ridiculous. It's a ridiculous cost for an execute, and I don't know how many times in WoW, like not just as a monk, but in WoW in general, I've gotten someone like maybe 5% or 8% in arenas, and somehow, by some means, they either bubble or deterrence or something, and they get healed back up out of the 10% range, or and they end up winning. When with this, you could just finish it. And the increased cooldown doesn't really matter, because if you get to use this in a duel or an arena, you pretty much won anyways, so you're solid there. As for the minor glyphs, they all suck anyways. None of them really affect gameplay, and I know they're not supposed to with them being minor glyphs. I mean, but they even screwed up Zen Flight, which was supposed to be all cool. I was excited for it, and it turned out to suck like this. So it goes way too slow, in case you didn't notice. And yes, I have a serious problem with that. I don't know why. It's not even important. It's just a stupid cloud. Fluffy cloud. Fluffy cloud. Just a cloud. But the other minor glyphs a lot of them are mainly changing things to the Celestial White Tiger look, and that applies to a couple of moves, and they have like honor and stuff. The only one that I think actually affects your character gameplay wise is Blackout Kick, and that makes the dot from Blackout Kick always occur, not just when you kick him from behind. But I don't choose it because it interrupts paralysis, and that's no bueno. I've tried using the glyph, and it just screwed me up with paralysis. Other than that, I didn't have any complaints about it, but yeah, that was enough to make me ditch it. It's not even that big of a damage increase, and it's not worth it for those times when you really need the paralysis. Which, I guess if you're using paralysis on like focus targets in arena and stuff, it's not that big a deal, but I duel a lot too, so I don't know, it might be something you want to switch out between arenas, or have 2 separate talents of the same thing, like me. I don't use the other one, but I have it anyways. Well, I guess that's it for this video. There is more to come like this, so if you like it, hit like. Got something to say, any feedback, suggestions, then please feel free to comment. And till next time.